The MCU keeps growing, not only on the big screen but especially on Disney+. One of the next big hits in Marvel series lineup will be Hawkeye. As has been known for several days, the series will be available on Disney Plus from November 24th and will include 8 episodes which will then be released weekly. In addition to the announcement of the release date, a first image was shared via Twitter featuring Clint Barton and his protege Kate Bishop. She is undergoing training to follow in her mentor Clint's footsteps as Hawkeye. In an interview with Entertainment Weekly, lead actor Jeremy Renner further adds that Kate is a huge fan of Clint, but despite her enthusiasm, she does bring some problems to her role model's life. Among other things, the series revolves around the temporary loss of his family due to the events of Infinity War and Endgame, as well as Kate's not always easy existence as a candidate for the Hawkeye title. We are excited about the final adaptation of the Marvel series, which will be available on Disney Plus from November 24th, 2021. Recently, actor Dwayne Johnson officially announced his exit from the upcoming 2 Fast and Furious movies 10 and 11. After several arguments with Vin Diesel and poor prospects for reconciliation, the 49-year-old decided to turn his back on the main series. Till the end, some still believe that it must be somehow possible to bring back Luke Hobbs. This optimism was now finally shattered, however, because Johnson's colleague Hiram Garcia urged fans to bury their hopes for good in an interview with Collider. Nevertheless, they don't have to bid farewell completely, as they're currently working on a sequel to the spin-off Hobbs and Shaw. Like the original, the sequel will stand on its own and, according to Garcia, will certainly please the fans. A good compromise for fans of the main series and the character Luke Hobbs. At the moment, it is not yet certain how exactly Fast and Furious 10 and 11 and Hobbs and Shaw 2 will continue or when they will be released. There's more news about Dwayne Johnson from his other movie, Jungle Cruise. Although the blockbuster, which had a budget of $200 million, only earned $62 million at the box office, a sequel may well be in the works soon. Johnson himself announced this on his Twitter account, so those responsible will sit down this weekend to plan a potential sequel. That's not at all surprising, since in spite of the financial losses, there's also a pretty strong argument for a sequel: the film's ratings. Appropriately, Johnson posted a tweet confirming that Jungle Cruise is the highest rated film of his career on Rotten Tomatoes. Sure, there are some fans who didn't like the film as much, but on the whole, the flick seems to deliver what it promises, which is to be a well-made family adventure. Hollywood legend Sylvester Stallone has been in the movie business for an incredible 52 years. In the last 10 years, there has been at least one film with his contribution in theaters in almost every year. Not bad for a now 75-year-old, but it seems like the Rocky star still hasn't had enough. At the end of July, the actor surprisingly posted a picture with a new ring of the Expendables leader Barney Ross, which he himself impersonates. The design is said to be finished so far, which in turn implies that the Expendables 4, first announced in 2016, is still being worked upon. It is quite possible that Stallone will be celebrating his farewell to the movie business with this film, similar to what he has already done with Rocky and Rambo. Unfortunately, the exact cast of the action blockbuster and the expected release date for Expendables 4 have not been announced as of yet. Amazon's most expensive series of all time has been in production for some time now, namely The Lord of the Rings. After Peter Jackson's film trilogy and the Hobbit spin-off, fans are already eagerly awaiting the giant project. Since we must still wait quite a while until the official release on September 2nd, 2022, we're all the more pleased that a first image from the series has now been published. You can see a scene from the first episode which offers plenty of speculation. For instance, you can see the 2 trees of Valinor in the background under the strong radiance. As is well known, the first age of Middle-earth was initiated with the creation of the 2 trees Laurelin and Telperion by the Valar. The huge trees once served as a source of light and were destroyed by Melkor, who later became also known as Morgoth. He was the most powerful of all Valar and also the mentor of the later villain Sauron. The question is, what did this tell us about the plot? We assume that the episode starts at the end of the first age and deals with the destruction of the trees. Subsequently, we would then arrive at the second age in which the series is supposed to take place. There are many indications that is a Valar or an elf, or otherwise no one would be allowed to live on the continent of Aman where the land of the Valar is located. In this context, one could also conclude that the magnificent city on the scene represents Velmar. As you can see, although only one image has been revealed, the storylines are already starting to come together. We hope for more footage and will keep you up to date as always. It should not have escaped anyone's notice that the legal matter between Amber Heard and Johnny Depp is still being fought with no holds barred. After Johnny Depp has so far struggled against devastating financial losses and defamation on a grand scale, a new campaign against his ex-wife is now getting underway. In recent days and weeks, calls for her to be fired from the Aquaman sequel have been accumulating. Producer Peter Safran, however, doesn't give in to the demands of the fans and stands up for the 35-year-old. He made it clear that there is no need to respond to such demands and certainly not to defer to the wishes of Johnny Depp fans. The situation is different for the idol. After all, the marital feud cost the 50-year-old his long-term planned engagement in Fantastic Beasts. In spite of this, Depp was able to win a small victory in this war, as Amber Heard wanted to donate the $7 million she received after the divorce, but presumably did not so. A recipient of the money, a children's hospital in Los Angeles, must now disclose whether it actually received the donation from Heard that was agreed upon in advance. Thus, it remains unclear which of the two is closer to the truth and who will ultimately emerge as the winner, if there is such a thing at all. However, one point is already certain: Johnny Depp's career on the big screen has definitely seen better days. The first Marvel movie from the fourth phase, Black Widow, has barely been released, and already there's a lot of turmoil behind the scenes. The reason for this is the release policy of the streaming service Disney+, which is causing the actors massive financial losses. This is also the case for Scarlett Johansson, who has filed a lawsuit against her former employer, according to the Wall Street Journal. The accusation? Breach of contract on the part of the movie giant. Allegedly, on paper, it states that Black Widow will receive an exclusive theatrical release. It further states that Johansson has a share in the worldwide box office take-ins, meaning that these account at least for a significant part of her final fee. Given that the film was released in theaters alongside a VIP access on Disney+, however, the actress feels she is at a disadvantage. The theatrical release of the Marvel blockbuster initially ran to the full satisfaction of all involved, with $158 million in sales on the first weekend, but crashed a week later with an internal all-time low for Disney. There are many explanations, but the most decisive of them is certainly the parallel release on Disney+, which generated another $60 million on the first weekend in addition to all the theatrical revenue. Of these $60 million, however, not a cent will go to Johansson and the already shaken cinema operators, as the profit goes straight to Disney. In an official statement, the company relativizes the action and even calls the lawsuit devastating in view of the still prevailing pandemic. It will be exciting to see how the verdict in the case of Johansson against Disney will turn out. After all, a decision in favor of Johansson could trigger a veritable surge of similar lawsuits. In recent weeks, we have often reported on merchandise leaks and numerous other rumors regarding Spider-Man No Way Home. But one important marketing component is still missing from the most anticipated movie of 2021, an actual trailer. Indeed, a trailer that confirms, or at least doesn't debunk, all the rumors that have been circulating. Of course, this includes the almost certain appearance of Tom Holland, Andrew Garfield, and Tobey Maguire in their respective Spider-Man roles. However, the operative word is still almost, because nothing has been confirmed or denied by official sources so far. There's also the mystery of Spidey's suits. After all, the leaked suits of the superhero reveal clues to new magical powers that surely originate from Doctor Strange's mind. Her last but not least, a secretly recorded set image has been circulating for a few days now, showing not only the Sanctum Sanctorum and Doctor Strange himself, but also a feast truck in the background. Those who are familiar with the Spider-Man universe will surely know this organization, as after all it stands for Food, Emergency, Aid, Shelter, and Training, and is actively supported by Piers Aunt May. This organization has a less pleasant reputation in the comics, since there it is founded and run by Martin Lee and merely serves as a cover for the gangster boss. Under his villain name, Mr. Negative, he has powerful abilities like the use of Light Force and Dark Force. So much for some of the rumors that have been popping up in recent weeks and months. We keep getting comments with the following question: when is the No Way Home trailer finally coming? And that's the question we will try to answer for you today. No Way Home will be released in theaters in December, and with just under 4 months to go, we have only seen a logo and a small teaser of the movie's name. For such a mega blockbuster, this is extremely unusual. There has also been no trailer release for matching theatrical releases of blockbusters like Black Widow and The Suicide Squad. This raises the obvious question: what on earth are Sony and Marvel waiting for? Many people thought after the spectacular season finale of Loki and the beginning of the multiverse chaos a few weeks ago that now was the right time to unveil the trailer. We got the clarification as to how the clash of the three Spider-Men can happen and how villains from other dimensions can target the protagonist, yet even that doesn't bring Sony out of its shell. Many fans have already been worrying whether Sony will release a trailer for the film at all, leaving us in the dark until the film's theatrical release on December 17th. Or even that the movie might be postponed again, leaving us with no footage yet to be seen. At least we can reassure you about the former. The last part of the Tom Holland trilogy is the biggest release for Sony since the beginning of the pandemic, so of course they want to make sure that moviegoers who aren't part of that fanbase will also go to theaters to see it. And for that, they need promising looking trailers and TV spots. We consider another movie postponement rather unlikely due to the film's thematic connections with numerous other MCU projects such as Doctor Strange 2, but unfortunately, it isn't out of the question due to the ongoing situation. The latest Venom 2 trailer still lacks a concrete theatrical release date, only referring to fall 2021. That seems to point to another delay. However, the film could also be postponed by just a few weeks, for example, and start in October or early November instead of September. In that case, there would be no impact on the cinema release of Spider-Man: No Way Home. We assume that Sony is currently using countless rumors and leaks and the resulting speculation within the online community to build up further hype for the film with practically no financial effort. We should finally get to see a proper trailer for the film in mid or late September at the latest, before the current theatrical release of Venom 2. In fact, maybe there will even be an exclusive sneak peek before the screenings of Venom 2? From a marketing standpoint, that would definitely make sense. In addition, it should then be clear whether the current situation allows for a cinema release in December. At any rate, it remains exciting and we can hardly wait to finally see a full trailer for the upcoming Spider-Man: No Way Home. That's it for our little special on this occasion. Subscribe to our channel if you liked the video and activate the notification bell on the channel page to make sure you don't miss the trailer. In the end, you never know when the time will come.